Honeybunches, welcome back to another video. Wow, I didn't realise I sound this sick, but apparently I do. I'm really fine. My brother's just given me his cold, Joy, so I've handed in my last assignments, or essays pretty much, for this first semester of this year. So I have one semester to go of uni, but I handed them in this morning, and my reward is mucus, so woohoo. So it's a pretty low-key evening, maybe with my sniffles and endless supply of hot drinks, but it's like over a month ago now, I asked on Instagram for some questions. I thought it could be nice to do some questioning and answering, so I have them here. Sorry it's been so long. I've also been putting off this video because answering questions about yourself is a bit uncomfy and not fun, for me at least, and I thought I'd like pair it with a recipe or like, I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, we're getting it over and done with, we're ripping it off like a band-aid, and let's jump in. So if you could go anywhere in the world or live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Well, I know it's kind of popular to say like an exotic location, or perhaps that's what you might expect, but I think at the state of the world right now, I think for my own sanity I would pick New Zealand. That's to live, not like travel-wise, which was another question. I guess my next priority travel-wise is like around Sweden, around Norway. Iceland's really expensive, but that would be great. More of UK, Ireland, and Scotland. You get the gist. That little corner of the world. They're the little cluster of countries that I'd like to endeavour to on the next trip. Have you always loved cooking, or what piqued your interest? Yeah, I have. I remember making my first recipe like 5 or 6. I like typed it up on Word, did like a funky word art header, and it was for double chocolate chip cookies. No, mini muffins, double chocolate mini muffins, and they didn't have chocolate chips in them, but they had lumps of flour, and everyone thought they had chocolate chips in them, but they were just being kind. I think my parents encouraged it, especially my dad. We'd like make pasta together, make homemade lasagnas with homemade pasta. They were always cooking a lot, and I just like to do it because it's something you can do with a fab reward at the end. So yeah, since super young. How long have you been vegan, and for what reason? Since the start. Well, it was sort of a gradual transition, but by mid-2015 I was, but like from the start of 2015 to the middle I was like aiming to be. Initially it was for health reasons, which I don't think is the best reason to go into it. I thought it was really cool and I liked cooking vegan food. It's sort of what got me into it. Now of course it's all the reasons, probs more the environment and the ethical over the health. Holly asks, any advice for writing and making a cookbook? I'm so excited for your cookbook, Holly. Persist in the compiling and putting it together phase, because that's the longest and most annoying, and yeah, it just takes a long while to like format it and everything, but it pays off and it's a very exciting feeling seeing it all bound and put together. My favourite flavour combination? At the moment I'm gonna go with chocolate orange because it's just great. My top 3 favourite movies? Ooh, This Beautiful Fantastic, done but vegan on it, 8th Grade, the Bo Burnham film, and Pincushion, which is a small independent UK film. All because they are about kind of weird characters which I really relate to and are about mental health, and yeah, I just relate to them a lot. They also combine, some more than others, like tragedy and comedy, which I really like, because life is like that. Even in the saddest of times there is funny moments. Do you have any tips on how to properly deal with mental health lows? Okay, a number of ones. Hang in there until you have to go to sleep, because a new day is a new opportunity, and write yourself a list the night before of like things you're gonna do that day, so you can sort of work yourself out of a funk, and hopefully with the freshness that you experience when you wake up, you can force yourself to do like the first 4 things or whatever, and then some momentum will get going and that will work you out of the funk. But that's something that personally works for me, that might not work for you. If you haven't socialised in a while, do that. See a really good friend, write it out, talk it out, or to-do list it out. I know it's not that simple, but there's some tips. If you feel comfortable sharing, are you a member of the LGBTQI+ community? I sure am, honey. I'm the B or the P, but I kind of think that sexuality is fluid, and how is anyone like one fixed label? I just don't really get it. Also, aren't we all attracted to people, not like genders? I think sexuality is something that we're all like socialized to be in. I don't trust people when they're like, I'm definitely heterosexual. Good for you, and no judgment, but I don't know. probably figure it all out when I'm like 83, touch wood if I get there and the world isn't melted by then. But yeah, yes, I think it's Pride Month, so that's exciting. I'm not a very active member, but you know, members in the community can be loud and proud, or loud and proud in their heart. What's your favourite state of mood to be in? I like to be in, although it's not sustainable, but it is satisfying, when I'm slightly pressed for time and I'm in a sort of slightly rushed but creative sort of mood, where I get a lot done. That's nice for a couple of days, and then a slower pace is good. Also, like when you're on holiday and just like the concept of time falls by the wayside and you're chill, that's a good mood. A lot of you asked what am I majoring in uni, and I'm majoring in sociology and I'm minoring in film and screen studies. I would have majored in film and screen studies, but not all the units, or not enough of the units or / ones I'm interested in are offered like in the years that I'm completing my degree, which sucks. But sociology is more of their units are offered, and look, they're kind of like in the same realm. And I know, like, not obviously because there's like the production side of film and screen, but I don't know, I'm happy to major in sociology. It's absolutely fine and I'm happy to do that. Would you ever want YouTube or HBOT as your full-time job? Why or why not? I would not, because I would know there was always something beyond that, a greater dream that I would be not having a go at reaching for. But ideally I would like go for that dream, and then in the breaks when work isn't consistent I would do HBOT maybe. I don't know, doesn't feel like a long-term thing. The ideal dream would be a writer for screen, but honey, that's quite a far way off and not sure how to get there. So, do you worry about cross-contamination living with non-vegans? No, because I've chilled out, and also I do most of the cooking, so if they're going to do it then I notice what pan they're using, and look, it's washed, and I don't know the last time like meat was cooked in a pan of ours. They were once upon a time, but that's a long time ago. But yeah, I've chilled out in that department. I just think it's a stress that it's just not worth it. Obviously it's like an unclean pan, that's something someone's cooking for you in it. It's a bit of a bummer. Can relate to that with grandparents and whatnot, but look, it's going to make their day if you just forget about it, so I think it's worth chilling in that department. Do you believe in or follow a specific religion? I do not. I grew up going to a uniting church, and I still go there on like key dates of the Christian calendar. I stopped going on Sundays when I was about 16, just because I enjoyed having a quarter more of my weekend pretty much. But I'm not against organised religion at all. I still think it's quite beautiful when it's like in its purest form of believing God is love. I think just personally I've sort of witnessed the organised part of the religion crowding out space for the love part and the compassion part and the loving your neighbour and helping the sick and all that. So I just haven't felt like I want to spend my time doing that. But yeah, as you guys probably know, I enjoy the odd carol and hymn. Christian music sort of thing is something I have grown up with, and yeah, I find it quite soothing. I realise there's been the odd person who comments on it and has mentioned that it makes them feel a bit irky, which I sympathise. If you haven't grown up with the same experience I have, then sure. People in the church community that I've grown up with are still like people that I see pretty often. My mum goes to church regularly and my dad does every now and then, and also just the church we went to, it's a very ageing population, ageing community, which is quite sad. It has many people passed on that were not grandparents but just lovely, caring elderly figures in my life. Yeah. What is your dream job and where would you live if you were doing that? Between Melbourne and London, being a screenwriter / playwright / TV writer, but I'm laughing at myself saying that because it just doesn't seem possible in the near distant future. Although something I like never share is I do enjoy like working on screenplays in my spare time. Have you always had such a good relationship with food? Yes. I guess as I've got older and like been more aware of like other people's relationship with food, and also like getting into veganism for health reasons sort of made it a bit bumpy, but I still say it's fab. I think like anyone, I like remember so clearly the times when I was a kid and an adult commented on what I was eating, I remember I was at church and one person, like I was so bored waiting for my mum to finish chatting to people at the end, and I was just hanging out in the kitchen and like literally making like a potion. You know, you made like potions out of like garden ingredients or like bathroom ingredients. I was doing that with tea, so I like made a cup of tea, and this was before I like had even tried tea. I was pretty young. I put tea in a cup and then like mixed it as much sugar as I could get away with it still dissolving, and I think someone, an older man, thought I was going to drink that and commented that was a lot of sugar, which I was kind of like, whatever, you know, things like that. They did definitely like make me think like, do I need to really change my eating habits? Lucky for me, positive relationship with food was dirty enough to that thought process to not last more than 30 minutes, I think. Favourite band? Not really band, but I love Aurora, I love Sigrid, and at the moment I just listen to a lot of Oliver Arnolds, who wrote the score for Broadchurch, I guess is the main thing you might know him from. How old am I? I'm 21. Hi, are you currently following a gluten-free diet? I am, because last year / the start of this year I developed incredibly itchy hands working with a naturopath / GP. She's a GP, but just more of like a naturopathy sort of approach on things. Worked out that it was gluten, which was majorly depressing to begin with, but also you sort of just adjust and it improves your quality of life, so yeah. Do you ever get recognised in public? I think I have like 3 times, all of which I've hated myself afterwards. Thought the person who came up to me was an absolute angel, but I just felt so embarrassed. But if you do see me, feel free to come up. I'm all for the practice. Do all your friends and family know about my blog / being vegan? Yes, friends and family, but people I've babysitted for, or you know, periphery acquaintances, friends, or like uni friends, I haven't brought it up. I don't know why. I just bring it up when it feels right. Or if you're babysitting someone, I don't know, I hear a lot of family friends talk about their vegan babysitter, and I'm like, oh crikey, I don't want to be put into that box, so I just haven't brought it up. But usually it comes up with the kids and they're like, vegan, what's a vegan? I'm like, whatever. How do you balance uni, work and YouTube? Priorities, I guess. Not having a massive social life, which is fine by me, and also like not spending any money for the most part, or much money, so I save a lot and work less. What do you enjoy most about living in Australia? While living in this part of Australia, I enjoy the smell. Look, lots of other things, but honestly, like when you've been overseas and you come home, the smell, it's like let me paint the picture. It's like sea spray, so like slightly salty, but also like eucalyptus, but if it's been raining, then like wet eucalyptus, which is like a whole new smell. It's just so fresh, just so calming. Like the safety, the freedom of speech, the environment, but also like being away from the world, like the northern hemisphere. I don't know if I've said this before, but being in Melbourne sort of feels like you're kind of at the bottom of the world. I know that doesn't make sense because of gravity and we're spinning, but like we're in Melbourne, and if you look at a globe, it's down the bottom, and you're sort of looking up at like the UK's over there, US is over there, China right there, and you just sort of feel like you're like a step back from the intenseness. Not that there's shit intenseness happening in Australia, but yeah, it just feels like you can take a breather from that position in the world. Does that make sense? How did you become so effortlessly cool? Honey, no, I don't feel cool at all. I realise that some people perceive me as that, which really bamboozles me and probably annoys them, because then I'm like, thanks for calling me cool, because it's like my younger self, it was my life ambition, but cool in like a cool in my own skin kind of way, not a cool to be perceived as cool by others. I don't know, not in a harmful way, I guess. But I just dressed how I thought cool people dressed. Basically the crux of it. I think that's it, honey bunches. I'll wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Sorry, I've got a bit of a nasally voice today. I was going to do this as a podcast, as I said, or maybe I haven't. I was going to do this as a podcast, but I think I need to get a new microphone, because I had a few comments saying, I don't even want to mention this because it's just going to draw people's attention to it, but saying that I have a wet voice, which sets off some people's OCD related anxiety type of thing. There was a specific name for it, but I forget, which of course I don't want to exacerbate. That sounds horrible, but I don't want to have a wet voice. Although I don't really care. It's okay. Right. I'm gonna sign off. See you on Instagram between now and the next video, or in the next one. Right. Ciao.